So this morning I've done a censure motion against President William Ruto. The main thrust of that motion first is based on the Constitution and constitutional breaches which has been conducted in this country. Mostly is a requirement under our standing orders 101, subsection 1, whereby if you want to discuss the conduct of the president or deputy president or a judge or any state officer, then you've got to approach the Senate through that standing order and then go on to cite the constitutional provisions. The main thrust of my petition and censure motion is that there has been abductions and killings in the country. The president is the chairperson of security committee in the country and therefore must know and is briefed on every single security detail of the country. Up to now, there are still missing Kenyans following demonstrations. Quite a number were killed by police and others brutalized, are still recovering in hospitals. And there are quite a number of bodies uncollected at the city morgue and many other mortuaries in the country for people who were killed by police during the demonstration. That has not been accounted for, and that responsibility is squarely on the president. There are also allegations of lack of public participation in the country, whereby laws just floor the house, come to the house and flow out of it, go for a signature at State House without public participation. And mainly of it is SHIF, they are done deal, SHA, all that. There has been no proper public consultation, proper public participation, and therefore it should be discussed because it is affecting Kenyans in a very big way. It is changing the lives of Kenyans, and there is a need for Senate to discuss that particular matter and show its displeasure about it so that those laws can be rectified, while the same I'm aware are also the court applications to deal with the same. No, not necessarily. Impeachment of a deputy president or impeachment of the president under the constitution has to be originated from National Assembly. I am aware also that the attempt to impeach the deputy president has created a lot of commotion in the country. And similarly, a lot of Kenyans have expressed that if you're going to impeach the deputy president, then impeach the president too, popularly known as Kufa Ndereva Kufa Makanga. And therefore, I believe quite a number of members of parliament also who are displeased with these moves and who have enough grounds to impeach the president are also going to move a motion to impeach the president. I'm aware also the speaker made statements in relation to the impeachment of the deputy president in Machakos, whereby as an arbiter, as a referee, you cannot determine which team is winning even before the game begins. And therefore, that also calls for action so that we all act within the Constitution and that we follow the law, we abide to the rule of law so that the country can be managed better. So any member of the National Assembly willing to also impeach the president, they are free to do so. I want to assure Kenyans, I have heard about the petition. There are no grounds, absolutely, to impeach the deputy president. It's a political motion, and I believe also an impeachment against President Ruto can also be a political motion. Ordinarily, that's how politics works when Kenyans are not happy with one thing or another. Right now, Kenyans are very unhappy with the abductions, and there is a need for there to be a national conversation on the same. Kenyans have to be safe in this country. The president has to disclose who are these abductors, where do they take people, how many people have been killed by the abductors. Now that he promised very well that he will never mistreat his deputy, and also promised that there are not going to be bodies at the Riviera. We found bodies at the quarry who were associated with the demonstrations.
So, finally, I think, not finally, in the event, everyone is expecting that.
We'll go on to discuss the conduct of the president, and those willing to impeach the president will still go on.
Perhaps with regards to DP Gachagua.
In relation to DP Gachagua, if they withdraw the motion, that is upon them. We still are saying there are no grounds to impeach Gachagua, and we are saying there are many grounds to impeach the president.
Even as the numbers in the National Assembly so far within 300 MPs having signed the impeachment motion, maybe if you have previous information on how many senators would will to support or not support the motion, if at all it says from the National Assembly.
You know, once a motion leaves National Assembly in whatever status it goes to the Senate. If the Senate doesn't approve it, then it collapses. So Senate is much more mature and more reasonable. And I'm sure they will look at the merits of that motion. If it doesn't fit, they will not allow it.
So in terms of numbers?
You won't know the numbers. Even that idea of saying over 300 MPs have signed the motion, I largely believe it is a lie. I was in the National Assembly. It is very difficult to get 2/3 in the National Assembly. We attempted many times, all parties combined, in an effort to amend the Constitution by the provisions of the National Assembly, a motion which was moved by a bill which was moved by the Honorable Kaluma. It was very popular, but it failed. So it is very difficult to get 2/3 in the House. Senator Maanzo. Kama sitwani Daniel Senator Maanzo, Senator wa Makueni, anaenda kwa sababu ni omunthi ine kia censure motion ya President William Ruto nundu wa muno abductions ila siende kutewa kwa airport na vile SHA na SHIF ila siete tokula kwandu patatiwa katiba ka Kenya na bainzi engito na unene ya kiu ate wetete motion kulingana na order 101 subsection 1 ya Senate standing orders na ende katiba ka Kenya nga koti kula kwithito no paluku yulwa serikali ya President Ruto na kemwene na muno kwa siakana andu alama na iwe ni polisi andu alama abductive ni polisi andu on the na la au president nondo ni wongamia security yandi ni walite investi na ni walite lesi ya Kenya meba na nondo mwene ni waiti andu maika atwa rivayala ingi ni waiti ndaka thinyande pitu wake na ni waitie owe mwene kana kuia andu angi makatumika na muthembosu na polisi nditumika katika siasa yuno bakatu welesia kwikiwata ona ndandu maina rivayala nitamethie kwa kware na angi ingi mano iwe kundu na kundu amama taisa uthiko no munthi na angi andu mono mande na mamanda no mpaka president aleze no katiba kiasia wabinda kwa ni polisi wale totwa wa kotini masaa mengole na matema thelu nije tena andu meka maite kana makweto ni polisi na makamina be wa methana miongo 3 matesiwe baba
motion kwenye Gachagua ni wikite threshold
nienda kwa sia motion ya Gachagua dikwe kwate kana haikitumio na kimwe cha kimeo kitu na utuma Gachagua impeachment na anda parliament kama impeach kisiasa koti kama tunga